Do the social post. Check that we are actually live. Yes. Pop out the chat. Turn up this music a bit, at least until it naturally gets a little louder. And there's money I'm gonna pay for ASL. I will do that tomorrow. Feeling thinky today? I'm feeling too warm. Why do all of these game streams happen in the summer? If they happened in the winter, that would be fine. In the summer, I want to be outside enjoying the sun, not in my office melting. Hey, Alice the Dungeon L, I have the time to catch a stream. Yay! Yay, welcome, hello. Today, I believe, is puzzle games. I think it's only like half an hour of trailers, so it's a nice quick one today. Which means I can then go have... I was going to say go have a nap. I could go for a walk in the sunshine. There might still be sunshine when this finishes. I might be able to enjoy some of the summer today. How is everyone doing? I am sleepy. But AA Showcase is coming along well. The regular version is done, is ready for YouTube. It's set as a premiere. People can go to the page and see, like, this is where it's going to be. BSL is done. The ASL is recorded. I just got to pay for it and edit it together. The audio description is recorded. Just needs editing. The individual trailers for the regular uploads are all ready and scheduled with their thumbnails, titles, all that stuff. I need to do the individual upload scheduling for the audio described trailers still, but like the AA Showcase is getting there. Usually I just post food at Jane's server. It's a chill place to be. Yeah, this is... I don't know if this is this Showcase's first year, or if this is just the first year that I've noticed this one. This is definitely not one of the Summer Games Festy showcases that we've noticed in previous years. I tried looking for if... I couldn't find evidence of previous years, because I was like, oh, was there like the big announcement of last year to get a sense of the scale of what to expect from this showcase? Nah. I'm intrigued by the mascot that is just a one-eyed blob. I'm literally doing one of these showcases and I just got an email about another one of these showcases happening. Which one is this? Tuesday, June 3rd, The Mix. There's too many showcases, and I know I am part of the problem. I know that because of accessibility I am part of the problem, but I can be part of the problem and complain about the problem. I think that's allowed. This is the showcase's first year, yeah, that's what it seemed to be from what I could see. But also, I'm overheated and sleepy and unmedicated, so I might have just missed it. That was very plausible. Yeah, did they say anything in the Notes for this one. Rachel and Joe. Oh yeah, it says it's the very first thing he read. That would have told me. Trailers. Akabara. Akabara games. That means we're probably going to see Word Atro, that game I worked on. I would guess Word Atro is going to show up in this, if I had to guess. It seems like the kind of game that would show up in this. The organisation is fairly new. I follow it on Twitter because I am a puzzle game freak sometimes. I enjoy a good puzzle game, but it's not a genre that I like. It's not like, if I had to describe myself as a gamer and like the genres I enjoyed, puzzle games would never be like the genre I rushed to put at the start of that list. Like, I don't think at any point when self-describing when I go, it is I, avid puzzle game fan. I love a good puzzle game. It's just not a thing I would identify myself as. But I'll come watch a thing about puzzle games and watch the trailers and go, that seems a bit too big brain for me. I'm not in the mood. Why is Nintendo so mean now? In what particular sense? What has Nintendo done that has upset you? I will say, I respect a first-year showcase that already has slightly better production value than me, and that they have like an animation for starting soon. Ooh, fancy. Saint Nobody says, the combination of puzzle gaming with In the Hall of the Mountain King makes me think of the final challenge in The Witness, which makes me think of Jonathan Blow, which makes me slightly annoyed. I too am slightly annoyed anytime I have to remember that Jonathan Blow exists. Perhaps the second most pretentious man I've ever held a conversation with. The first, of course, being Peter Molyneux. A man who I have interviewed him twice. I have interviewed Peter Molyneux twice in my career. He sure is a man that exists. And again, Decimate, you're not wrong. Bubba is you. Portal and Portal 2. You know, there's a lot of puzzle games that you'd ask me about an individual puzzle game, I'd say, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite games of all time. I just never think, yeah, puzzle games. I don't know what it is. The emotional investment's just not there. Peter Molyneux never said that women's brains aren't made to code, though. Never in public, never on the record, but like, I've been in a room with that man. I've been alone in a room with that man asking him questions. I guarantee you he thinks that women's brains aren't made to code. Having sat in a room with Molyneux, he is incredibly condescending, like, generally, but particularly when sat in a room with a woman. Like, he really loves to be like, I know this is your job, but I'd be doing it better than you if I were doing it. I'm trying to think of my favorite terrible Molyneux quotes from when I saw him. Right, we got like 2 minutes. Let me see if I can find... Oh, yeah, this was my second time around interviewing him. God, when would this have been? This was originally, oh god, 2019. The last time I spoke to game developer Peter Molyneux was back in the March of 2015. God, I was so young. At the time, Goddess was months behind schedule. The player, supposed to be the god of gods, had been forgotten by Studio's 22 cans. Molyneux was subject to intense scrutiny and criticism. Such was the backlash that, at the time, it left him scrambling. This period came to an end with Molyneux saying to various press, myself included, that he was going to stop talking about his work prior to release. Let me skip forward to the end of the article, because I remember it ended... Oh, it sure ended... juicy. The Molyneux I met in Guildford last week feels in some intangible way both different from the man I interviewed 4 years ago, and somehow completely the same as he ever was. As I was leaving, he offered me a sneak peek of his upcoming project, Legacy. He's previously announced the title, though no details. All off the record, naturally. I was excited to see it. I also wondered why he showed me it, after all that talk about saying he's shying away from the hype cycle. The day after returning from Guildford, my editor received an email about the announcement of Molyneux's next project. Now I know why Molyneux agreed to meet me. Now I know why he showed me the game. Now I know why the studio okayed an interior shot with the new game's logo in it, and separately verified that it wouldn't be releasing until later in the year. And now I know that Molyneux is, later today, going to be talking about Legacy months before it's released. Sometimes it's hard to know what to believe. I still love that fucking interview. That was a great piece. It's been a while since he said anything. Still, there's this nagging feeling I can't shake. Maybe it's the language that Molyneux uses, distancing himself from the fallout of a goddess. Maybe it's the fact that whatever Molyneux says, he's still so good at playing the press. Maybe it's just that a history of over-promising and painting everything as amazing has made it hard to take what he says at face value. I need to do more pieces like that where I go grill a person and, like, make a The Guardian-style story about it. It's been a while since I've done, like, a high-end games press piece. Let me turn this down slightly.
Greetings everyone and welcome to the very first Thinky Direct. My name is Joseph Mansfield and I'm one of the puzzle experts over at thinkygames.com, and today I'm joined by our editor Rachel Watts.
Hey everyone! Super excited.
These are both vaguely familiar faces.
Games you've got lined up
I don't know if I actually
Also,
know them
quick
or
hello
if
to
they're
everyone joining us
just
from
that
the
kind
Puzzle
of
Showcase.
face.
We're delighted to be kicking off the event for you all, and hello to folks watching with our co-streamers.
Oh, Molyneux
Great
was
to have
definitely
you all
trying to
with
do a
us.
crypto
For
game,
those who aren't
yeah.
familiar with our work, we're Thinky Games, a community of puzzle fans
Is there
and problem
subtitle?
solvers who
No,
want to share
no
amazing
subtitles, of
games
course
with as many
not.
people as possible.
We run the Thinky Awards, ThinkyCon, we write articles over at thinkygames.com. We stream over
Do
on
your
Twitch and
showcase
YouTube
as a
and publish
premiere
bi-weekly
rather than a
newsletter
live
filled with
stream, because
Thinky
then you
gaming
can have
news.
subtitles.
And just this past year, we've launched the database filled with all sorts
Or
of
if
puzzle
it's a
games to
pre-edited
help you find
video,
your next head
bake the
scratcher.
subtitles
We
into
do
the
a lot
live
of stuff.
stream.
And now, move aside Nintendo, we're doing our very own Thinky Direct. Our goal with this event is to highlight some of the truly amazing games that would otherwise get overlooked.
These
Today,
headphones
we'll
are
be
causing me
showing
such
trailers,
headaches
announcements
this
and
week.
demo launches. So a big thank you to everyone who paused their Blueprints playthrough to watch the show. We promise we've got some exciting stuff to show you.
Ooh.
So let's begin with our
Playdate
first one with
Season
trailers
2
featuring some brand
kicks
new
off
demos
today.
and content updates.
Oh, I should be paying attention to that. Season 2 of Playdate kicked off. From one of the writers and designers of The Rise of the Golden Idol. Sometimes you gotta get real specific with your claims to fame. His demons can shapeshift. One of the other co-creators of Golden Idol had positive things to say about their ex-co-worker's work. Rewind that last part. A detective game about friendship. Oh god, is this a puzzle? Is this a mystery-solving game about the mystery that is social dynamics in friendships? Oh god, how do I solve the mystery of friendship? How do I win at friendship? A thing that is very normal to want to do. And very achievable and doable. I swear that Playdate Season 1 updated on Mondays. What day of the week are we on? Thursday. Okay, set up your various tools and angles. This feels... yeah. It's create an auto-runner level, essentially. Yeah. The button effect. This is too many buttons for a game that is not a parody of a game about buttons. You show me this many buttons in the Stanley Parable, I'm like, okay, I don't actually need to understand what all these buttons do. This is a silly little goof 'em up. You show me this many buttons in a serious puzzle game, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to remember and spatially orient myself to come back to these buttons, aren't I? Oh. I don't like how elaborate all these buttons are. Is that a light or is it a button? We are off to Button Moon. Follow Mr. Spoon and hope that Mr. Spoon knows where the buttons are. Railbound, did this come out today? I think I got a press email about this. I think it came out today. I saw rail and realised it was about trains, so I vaguely paid attention. I totally understand that button game, totally clear what kind of puzzles it has. The kind of puzzles where there's buttons involved. How long has this been in development? I definitely played a demo for this. I remember this game. This might be a level editor for an existing game. Oh, you're right, it's a level editor. Because I'm like, okay. Because yeah, there it is, the beta for the level editor. I was like, I'm sure I played the full game of this. Okay, it's something for it came out today, and I was like, I'm sure I played this. Maybe it was only a demo. Because I remember the dogs. It was trains being driven by dogs, and I complained about, like, make it be cats.
Hi, I'm Luke from Afterburn. We've made games such as Railbound, Invento, and Golf Peaks. And this year, we're back with a new Thinky title. Pop Champs is a tactics-inspired puzzle game about playing soccer as a team of cute dogs. Your job
Why is it
moving
always
teammates
dogs?
around,
I know
passing
why.
the
It's
ball
because the
between
dev
them,
team
and
like
scoring
dogs.
some
But...
amazing goals. Pop Champs starts off simple, but later on you'll encounter different kick types, hazards that will stop you from dribbling,
oh
and of
no!
course, we couldn't have a soccer game without an opposing team. The game is out now on Steam and mobile platforms, but it also plays great.
This
on
seems
the
like a
Steam.
very cute game for
Additionally,
someone who
to
isn't
celebrate
me.
the Thinky Direct, we've just launched an update with some extra difficult puzzles. If you've already finished everything that Pop Champs has to offer, be sure to try out these new ones. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the rest of the Direct.
Oh, where is my playdate? I need to get the playdate now that I'm thinking about the fact that it's... what have I knocked over? What have I done? What have I chaosed? I don't know the answer. I don't know what I knocked over, so I'm going to assume nothing important. Playdate. And you're out of battery. Oh no. Recharge Playdate. I must know of my new games. This looks like playing Oracle of Seasons or Oracle of Ages, but with none of the combat. Which I'm not opposed to. Okay, so this first section is just updates to existing
Yeah,
puzzle
what a
games.
really exciting selection of puzzle games. I think one for me that I'm looking forward to is City of Voices, which
very
is, you know,
exciting.
it's a Golden Idol like by one of the Golden Idol devs, so very excited about that.
Yeah,
I
that
just-
Golden
I know it
Idol, like
looks
from one of the
sweet, but
Golden
I know
Idol
there's gonna be
devs.
some
It even had a
tedious
positive
puzzles
comment
in
from
there,
a
so I'm
different
really looking
Golden Idol
forward
dev
to,
who
jumping into that.
Probably indeed.
One of their
and
friends from the
I'm
company
very
they used to
excited
work
see how
at
far
liked
this thing's
it.
Guy now, as well as many other people. So many of us got to that like purple snake island near the end, and there were loads of mysteries set up. And it seems like maybe it's answering some of those mysteries, which is very exciting. So many cool games that we've just seen,
Yes.
and we have more to come. So let's head
Aw.
over to our next batch
Aw.
of trailers, starting with a game releasing today.
Yay! That was great. Did you
There we
just
go.
ad-lib
I just
that?
improv that, yeah.
Damn!
I kind of realised that's what's coming up.
I was like, I'm not interrupting. Let him cook.
I love when a showcase extends the bit that isn't trailers to pat themselves on the back for how good of a very natural introduction they did. Let's get the apple onto the raft. What are we achieving once the apple is on the raft? Why does the apple need to be on the raft? Because it's an apple adventure, I guess.
Wake up, detectives.
I
It's time to...
I would really advise for future years of this Thinky Direct, advise the people making trailers for your showcase to have voiceover explaining some of the puzzle mechanics of their game. Because in a showcase that is all... Like, you know, this one's alright, because it's like, okay, it's showing some examples of, like...
It's just another joke of our suspect.
We're
Stupid.
it's a solve the wires, find the code for the lock, circle the detective. Some of these are doing okay at showing the puzzle mechanics, and some of them are just going, we're a puzzle game. Here's our art style and theming. There's puzzles in it. I'm like, you've got to, if you want to stand out during a puzzle direct, you've got to show me you've got to tell me mechanically what genre of puzzle game are you.
Ellie?
Like, it's the problem they had with,
I accepted an apprenticeship at Strange Antiquities.
It's the problem I had with, the button. The one with the room full of buttons.
I was
Ooh.
wrong. She doesn't look well.
Is
What does this? she need?
1 sec, is this the one I think it might be?
Stalker of an occult nature. Some are powerful, some are dangerous. Is this an evocant? It's on
No, I
me
don't
to
think
get
this is the
this
one I'm
right.
thinking of.
It has a stone of the earth. Well, that doesn't tell me much. Maybe the answer lies beyond these walls. Or perhaps it's hiding in some secret corner of the shop. Aha! This must be it. So then why do I have this sense of rising dread? Oh no.
Oh no. I think this is only a half-hour direct. I think there's another 2.5 hours afterwards that are gameplay of each of the puzzle games. So if you want to know more about any of these games, I think there's 2.5 hours of gameplay after the half hour of trailers. Like, showing me this isn't helping me understand how these mechanics work. Like, what you need here is just a little bit of narration being like, when you deploy a unit to the board, they'll attack, in a set, like a unit-specific direction. Survive the wave of enemies with your limited number of summon opportunities. Some units cost more than others to summon. Work out the optimal ones to summon to do the thing.
Well, thank me.
Whispering that? I could not hear. Okay, here we go. Here is one where your puzzle mechanic is immediately clear upon watching. This is alright. Like, you need to know whether your puzzle game is this, where the puzzle mechanic is immediately visually striking in a way that, like, you don't have to verbally explain. Or if you're one of the ones where, like, you really do need to just, like, tell us what your puzzle game is. Like, I might not fully understand these mechanics, but I know enough to go, gravity shifting, I have a strange bow, my bow can sometimes pull me toward things kind of like the, what was it, the matter transporter beams in Portal. Like, I don't understand I don't know the theming, but I don't really need to. This is a puzzle showcase. I'm engaged by the puzzle I did, that I'll pay attention to. The BT, what have you missed? Puzzles. About 15 minutes of puzzles. There was a room full of all buttons, and he didn't really explain what the buttons did. A game about the puzzle that is friendship, that was made by someone who worked on the Golden Idol game, and is liked by someone else who worked on the Golden Idol game, definitely not bias there. Railbound, the game with dogs on trains, is getting new content, and they're making a new game, or they have another game that's a puzzle game about dogs doing football. And there was a game where gravity's direction shifted and you had a bow. That is some puzzles that off the top of my head I can re-summarize from 15 minutes at you.
There was a few that are very Joe coded.
Yes.
Games.
I mean, I feel like the entirety of Thinky Games is very Joe.
Yeah, true. There's not one that you're like, no.
I wonder if there's a reason for that.
It's like Joe selected the games that are in the showcase, and therefore they are games that he enjoys.
It's like dungeon crawler aesthetics with Portal / Zelda-like puzzles going on, like shooting the eyeballs and things like that to open doors. Very exciting. Emurama very excited about as well.
Yes.
Some kind of like language decryption.
I'm not a big fan
Yeah.
of stopping to explain the trailers you just saw a second ago.
Which is like you going around and scanning like the creatures.
Because like this kind of discussion would have been great as voiceover over the trailer.
Collecting animals type of thing going.
Yeah,
on, which is
yep.
Like I
interesting.
want to be seeing the game as you talk about it. Like bring the trailer back up so I can see which one you're talking about.
Horticulture, it just looks like a bit more intense, to be honest, but in a good way. Like same as the first one, you'll be running a store where you're selling objects to people and need to help them with their problems, and maybe hopefully not curse them in the process, from what the trailer implies. So I'll definitely be all up in that. And again with you, He Who Watches just looks really interesting. But yeah, next up we've got a whole bunch of new trailers, starting off with something very exciting, so keep watching.
At Unified Megacorp, the customer's convenience is our utmost priority. The more we control, the smoother your experience. Unified storage, unified production, unified finance, unified media, unified data, unified protein, unified employment, healthcare, unified unified knowledge, unified universe. One thing. One Megacorp. Unified.
Right, like, how am I supposed to understand what this game is mechanically? Never sell out. Like, I just wish some of these puzzle games would take a second to go, from an outside perspective, if you've never seen this game before, are you going to understand... Or is it... Oh, this is another word outro. This is bird-themed word outro. Spell words with Scrabble tiles and pick new things to add to your deck to modify your deck. This is word outro if it was birds. Well, that market got stepped into real quick.
Is The Seat Taken, a logic puzzle game where you find the perfect spot for particular groups of people. So everyone loves a good sunny day in the park, except when there's bugs. So first, let's take a moment and see if we can get rid of them. Aria, no bugs, we got you. Let's have you read by this really cute pond, and there's a duck. I think that's gonna be perfect. Val has a lot going on, doesn't like bubbles. Who doesn't like bubbles?
See,
Gianna
this is a
like
trailer that
bubbles.
explains what its game is.
What's going on in the
that.
city where they don't like bubbles? Tio has sunscreen. Tio is just here to be kind to people, just wants to make sure people take care of their skin. We all love a Tio. We have specific spots for everyone to enjoy, and it looks like we have done it. Perfect.
That's very cute. That's a wholesome little game. The monolith crumbles. Okay, you can take chunks of the world and move them around to platform with. That's kind of cool.
We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond.
Across some artsy cutscenes, maybe? Am I okay? I seem tired. I'm overheated. I'm having a different problem to the French Direct yesterday, which is so many of these trailers just aren't explaining their mechanics. I'm zoning out, going, yep. You're clicking on stuff. You clicked on some hexes. That's part of a puzzle. Cypher 0. Yeah, is it complicated, Picross? It might be.
It's dawn. Looks like the sun's trying to come out.
I know this series of games. This is not the first game in this series. I forget what this series is called.
Oh yeah.
I've played a game with these characters in before.
And this is the cauldron?
One of them released early on in the Switch's lifespan, somewhere back in like 2017. I played it on
the
Switch.
case file said it had never been unlocked before.
So
I remember the voice acting, I remember the characters. Don't remember what the game was called.
Small, locked room. There really isn't anywhere for a murderer to hide.
I think
Tangle Towers, yeah, that sounds right.
Magnus
There we go.
unlocked.
an example of a puzzle that I can follow,
by what was
and
inside.
I can understand, oh, this is that kind of puzzle game. Detective Grimoire! Yes, Detective Grimoire. That's what I know.
Hello, Weavers. I'm Buddy, the head of marketing for Akupara Games, and today I'd like to introduce you to
I know
Echo
Akupara Games.
our
I do
upcoming
accessibility
Metroidvania
consulting for
from
them
Moonlight
sometimes.
Kids.
Akupara
I
Games are
understand
good.
what showcase I'm in. I understand that players watching this are looking for something to tickle the old gray matter. So, you might be asking yourself, Buddy, what in the world is a Metroidvania? If a Metroidvania is a game where acquiring different gear or upgrades allows you to progress in new and unique ways, a Metroidvania is a game where all you need to acquire is knowledge. And that, my friends, is the core conceit of Echo Weaver. If you know how to activate the Weaver's special abilities, you can do that. And the question is, can you figure that out? Because in Echo Weaver, you're stuck. Not just in place, but in time. The colony of Provenance has been overrun in mutated zombie cyborgs and a cult of the apocalypse. And at the beginning of each cycle, you only have minutes to live, represented here by the display on the top of your screen. You have to figure out how to progress in that time limit or you're done for. That's it. There's nothing random, nothing procedurally generated. This isn't a roguelike. It's a time loop puzzle for you to figure out. The loop will reset every time. New cycles, same challenges, but this time faster, better, smarter. Especially because time is a resource you can both gather and spend. There are barriers to your progress that you can only pass by having enough time to sacrifice at them. Run out of time, you get blocked, and it's over. But once you figure out
Okay, I
the
kind of like
secrets,
this
all
idea.
the little tricks, every tiny
Yeah,
advantage,
it's a
you can
minute
eat
like.
out of
Yeah,
Provenance's
maybe.
collapse,
What if Minute was a
then
side-scrolling?
you might have a chance at progress. And progress is
a side-scrolling
the only thing that's
Metroidvania, and I'm
to
going. I can see
You'll
the
be able
appeal
to catch
there.
Echo Weaver day one on Game Pass, and you'll be able to catch the demo as well soon enough. For now, join the Moonlight Kids Discord for all things Echo Weaver, and I wish you all the best of luck in the loop. Thank you to Thinky
It's the
Games
least
for
puzzly
hosting
game
us.
that we've seen,
Cheers.
and it did look very interesting.
Echo Weaver is super exciting. I played the demo
Yes.
of it, and it's like, yeah, it does have some like action and dexterity and stuff, which most Thinky games don't tend to have. But it has this like time loop thing, and it's interesting because it's a really short time loop. It's like you begin with like just a minute, and you gradually like powering up and getting more and more time, and then.
Yes.
The discoveries you make, like the knowledge that you gain, it really is like a proper Metroidvania where you just like learn things you can do.
It really is like a proper entry in that
And
genre
it
that
just
we
makes you,
invented
like,
for this
way more
game.
powerful, and then within that like 1 minute, you can do like way more stuff. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I think another one for me is This Seat Taken by our friends over at Wholesome Games. Lovely to see Jenny as well. Hi, Jenny! Yeah, I played the demo for Is This Seat Taken. It's just a really relaxing puzzle game where, like Jenny said, you're just organising
I'm
people and their
curious
pet
about
peeves,
something.
and they don't want to be near someone who's stinky or someone who's
Okay.
loud. And I can totally relate to that. And it
Curious
just looks
about viewership
really
numbers.
laid back, relaxing. There's
As
not
a
lot of
person with
stakes,
zero
so Echo Weaver and Is This
incentive to
Taken,
know
love
that
those
information.
two are in our showcase together
And,
for sure.
And
Yeah, I know
super
there's a
exciting
few.
to
I know
see
there's a
Concept
few
of
other
N68
games that have
back,
used the title
sequel
Metroidvania,
to
right?
N68 Hack, which is like a super deep.
I
and
was being
intricate
facetious.
strategy tactics game. It's going to be amazing. Michael Bro is probably one of the best game designers there is, and so people should look out for that for sure. So, as we mentioned before, this Thinky Direct is kicking off the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase, who share our goal of spreading their love of puzzle games with everybody. So we'd like to take a moment to say thanks to the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase team and to the organisers.
They
Jack
really
Griffin.
need to pronounce
Yes, a
that
big
other
thanks to
showcase's
them,
name a
and
bit
we'd
more
like to be
clearly.
joined by Alan Hazelden to share
There's a
some
couple of times
exciting
they've
information about
rushed
their wonderful
pronouncing
games
it.
and a couple of
And I'm
new
like,
exciting trailers of their own.
You're saying cerebral and starting a word with P and rushing through. It took me a couple of times to get that you were saying Cerebral Puzzle Showcase.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
I did for a minute think it was the Cerebral Palsy Showcase, and I was like, that's cool, I don't see the connection.
Developer and publisher of lovingly crafted puzzle games and the organisers of the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. here's a reminder of some of the great games we've been involved with.
Monsters Expedition. Oh, Jeffrey, you've arrived at the tail end. We've just had half an hour of games that are puzzles. We are, I think, within 2 or 3 minutes of the end of seeing all of the puzzles. I think this is just a showcase of previous puzzle games that exist. Hey, did you know about these ones? We helped promote these in the past. How many puzzle games were actually puzzle games? There's way too many puzzle games that don't actually have puzzles. It's hard to tell.
You enjoyed that last game, Bonfire Peaks?
A lot of the... back to live.
Part 2 and 3 are...
A lot of the trailers were like, here's a hallway full of a million buttons to press. The buttons will probably be part of a puzzle. There's a lot of these trailers that didn't really explain what their puzzle mechanic was, other than... Here's a thing. We promise these are puzzle mechanics. I agree with Decimate. I do think the majority of them were actual puzzle games. I would say maybe 30%, if we're being generous, you could understand what the puzzle mechanic was by watching the trailer. Oh yeah, the live is clickable. Yeah, if you're ever not live, you can just click on live to be live.
Last but not least, we've got a brand new trailer reveal of our next game, Spooky Express. It's an approachable successor to Cosmic Express, where you have to stay on track to avoid a grave problem. Here's a first look.
I'm gonna guess that the word grave there is literal, and yeah, okay, yeah, it's spooky. Grave because it's spooky. Are they allowed to call it a direct? Feels like a trademark infringement. Yeah, of course they're allowed to call it a direct. The information is going direct from them to us. Nintendo does not own the concept of things... information coming direct to you. You know, if any of them put their branding in, like, red colours...
Very cute.
They might get in trouble.
Cool.
Very exciting.
Yes!
Yeah, Spooky Express, that's going to be very exciting. Cosmic Express was an amazing game, and they've done Sokobond Express as well, now Spooky Express.
Oh, yeah!
Nintendo does not own. Why not tell Nintendo that, Laura? Yeah, sorry about that.
Peaks Part 2, Part 3 of the DLC are out.
Yes!
Holy moly.
What if they do a what is direct hand movement?
I saw some interesting... I saw buttons
Just
on
gotta
boxes.
mildly change it, be like...
Buttons on boxes. What are they doing?
Direct.
Yeah, that is very exciting. It's a long
direct
time
to you
coming,
with the
but
thumbs.
it's here.
Indeed.
Direct to you.
And that brings us to the end of our first Thinky Direct. A big thank you to Disney Cleveland
I will
and her
say,
team for helping us produce
I
the
respect
event.
that they
And make
kept
sure to
it
catch the credits
real
in just
short
a
and snappy,
moment,
this one.
And they've all done a wonderful job.
If you'd like to know more about some of the games you've just seen, keep watching, as I'll be streaming them in just a
State
moment.
of Play is
so
probably
you
a
can
branding
watch
thing
me
as
try
direct has
and
become.
solve them.
State of Play Station.
And if you love today's showcase, please check out thinkygames.com and join our Discord.
I can see why the big companies don't want to touch Nintendo's branding, but why the small companies kind of want to ride it.
We'd love to have you part of the community. That is all from us for now. Thank you for watching, and happy thinking. Goodbye.
So, I'm not sticking around for the 2.5 hours of gameplay of the puzzles. But for anyone who was late, we'll very quickly skim through to be like, here's 10-second looks at some of the puzzles. What did we have? There's this one that is a puzzle game about friendship. That seems pretty autistic to me. Making friends is a puzzle mechanic. I understand that. I empathize with that. Shape Sender. Make a bunch of machines that cause the shape bounce along to where it's supposed to go and fall in the pipe. The Hall of Buttons, the button effect. This one explained nothing other than showing you there's a bunch of rooms. The rooms have buttons in. Those buttons are presumably puzzle mechanics. Railbound is getting a level editor. You can make your own levels for it.
We're back
This
with a
puzzle
new
game is
50
playing
title.
football as dogs.
Between them,
It's a
and scoring
turn-based
some amazing
strategy
goals.
football game as cute dogs. This one is what if you played Zelda Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons with none of the combat, just the puzzle elements of those Game Boy era Capcom Zelda games.
To come.
So, you know, there was a number of these that were puzzles. This one's a puzzle. The bear wants to get the apple on the raft. I don't know why the bear wants to get the apple on the raft, but the bear doesn't want to get the apple on the raft. Kiko's Apple Adventure. This one is puzzles. Solve the machines, find the clues. Put the tape in, so circle where the clue is.
Stupid game.
Find her.
Other side.
There's some stuff here.
Find her.
What does she need? The items we stock are of an
Find
occult
which
nature.
supernatural
Some
item
are
is the one
powerful,
that the customer
lies
needs
beyond
to
the
solve their
ship.
problems. This one that I have no idea what the mechanics of are. I could not work out the mechanics of this one. This one was a cool game. Gravity shift, you have a bow and arrow. Zelda portal dungeon crawler with gravity shifting. Seems kind of fun. This one was the one that I actually remember having, like, finishing watching the showcase. This is like the one that was a memorable trailer. We'll skim ahead. What was the gimmick for this one? It was a puzzle platformer of some kind. You have a scanner that helps you find secrets. You scan, secrets get shown. What's the bow and arrow one? The bow and arrow one was... Let's have a look. He Who Watches. He Who Watches was the interesting one for me out of this. But yes, let's skim ahead. There was...
Puzzles.
Again,
Customers' convenience is our utmost.
Couldn't work out what the mechanics of this one were either.
The smoother your experience.
Something about corporate hacking or similar. There's a file system. And unauthorized access, and you're moving around it, fighting off bugs. I could not tell you what these mechanics are. One that is doing the same thing as Word Atro. It's you do Scrabble, you pick new tiles to put in your deck. It's Word Atro with birds.
In the park.
Is this seat taken? It's a puzzle game about, like, each of the people wants and hates different things, and you gotta work out where to put them all so that they'll all be happy with where you've placed them.
Arya, no bugs, we got you.
Like, oh, I want to read, I don't want to be near bugs, I have extra sun cream, I can't get sunburned. This one, the puzzle platformer where the mechanic was chop up bits of the level to rearrange to remake your platforming sections. Cypher Zero, the best guess we had was this is complicated Picross. This is Picross with extra steps and fancy cutscenes.
It's done. Looks like the
A
sun's
new
trying
one
to come
from
out.
the Detective Grimoire point-and-click adventure series. Well, Tangle Tower? Tangle Tower? Was that
the
it?
head of marketing for Akupara Games, and today
This is a
I'd like to introduce you
Metroidvania.
to Echo Weaver, our upcoming Metroidvania from Moonlight Kids.
It's kind of
Now,
like
I
Minute
understand
in that by understanding the
we're
level better, you can
knowledge.
get more done with the
And that-
limited time you have in a run.
Cycle, you only time loop.
What, you're not a fan of the
Especially
word
because time is
Metroidvania?
a tiny advantage. The demo.
And then I think it was just the that sort of spam of games that are already out.
Did puzzle games?
Oh yeah, this was just the trailers for already existing puzzle games that we sort of skimmed through. There you go. That, for anyone who came in late, that's the gist of what the Thinky Direct was.
We're incredibly excited.
Now, I'm gonna call it here, because it's a really lovely sunny day, and I'm gonna go enjoy the sunshine and not stare at more game trailers. There was Spooky Express and Bonfire Peaks DLC, you're right, there was those. Those were new. But yes, thank you very much everyone for coming along. We saw some puzzle games. I don't think there's any more of these trailer showcases this week. Not tomorrow. Oh, Saturday is the horror game showcase. Saturday there's the horror game showcase. Next week's when, like, this stuff kicks off in earnest. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry it's a short one today. I am too warm to be in here, and it's too nice a day outside that window, so I'm gonna go be outside, enjoy that sunshine, and not be staring at this screen that I've been making the AA showcase at all week. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow streaming some Elden Ring Night Rain, 9 PM UK, 4 PM Eastern,